acting vice president. I'm the new acting president. Vice President Ryan Story. Our president, Mackenzie Hennikus, could not be here today. She had a prior engagement. To my right here, we have Greg Hertline, who's acting trustee.
Hugh McWilliams.
Hugh McWilliams. I guess you can introduce yourself. And
Jackie Tubby,
she's our
Secretary.
Treasurer. And then we have Mary McWilliams, who is a jack of all trades. I should say master of all trades. She's administrative assistant, does a lot of our minutes and takes care of things like that. Thank you all for coming here. And we're just going to go over the agenda. We have a few agenda items that we'll discuss. Did they all get one of these?
No, that's just really for us.
Okay.
We can rock them through it.
So we'll just kind of go ahead and get started. The first agenda item we're going to discuss, which we've been discussing kind of a lot previously, is to begin work on revising the indentures. Our number one goal has been to pass an amendment that allows us to easier revise those indentures. So we, as the board, have discussed that the indentures of the community need to be updated in order to more closely reflect the current operations of the association and to allow for a less burdensome and complicated amendment process. As you all know, or may not know, we've not had any changes to the, or revisions to the indenture since 1996. So they're a little outdated, the wording's a little gray, so we could use a little refreshing and maybe some more clarity. First step in successfully updating the indentures is to create a new amendment procedure to allow for an orderly and workable method to accomplish the goal of updating the indentures. So the board has proposed the following amendment to the indentures, replacing current Article 7 with the following.
Yep.
So they have a copy of this.
You do, but I didn't grab it.
So everybody have a copy of the proposed.
Everybody has one? I need one. There you go. Oh, wait a minute, I've got it too.
Okay.
I thought I should.
Okay. So I'll just go through the proposed amendment here. This is the proposed amendment to the indentures of Town South Homeowners Association. Whereas the board decided that the indentures of the Town South Homeowners Association need to be updated in order to more closely reflect the current operation of the association. And whereas the current procedure in the indentures to amend them is burdensome and unworkable. And whereas the first step to successfully update the indentures is to create a new amendment procedure to allow for an orderly and workable method to accomplish the goal of updating the indentures. Be it resolved, the board proposes the following amendment to the indentures, replacing the current Article 7 and replacing it with the following. Article 7, these indentures shall be perpetual. These indentures may be amended, modified, or changed, including the additional burdens according to the following two procedures. We have two different procedures which that can be proposed. It's a board proposed and owner proposed. The board proposed is the Board of Governors by a unanimous vote may submit to the owners a proposed amendment to the indenture. The amendment will then be submitted to all of the owners according to paragraph C. And likewise, the owner proposed is owners by written petition signed by 20% of the owners and submit an amendment to the indentures. The amendment will then be submitted to all the owners according to paragraph C. So paragraph C outlines the amendment procedure. Any amendment procedure to the indenture shall be subject to approval by the owners at a duly called meeting where the requisite quorum, in person or by proxy, is present. Notice of this meeting, along with a written statement of the proposed amendment, shall be given at least 30 days prior to the meeting by delivering the same U.S. postage prepaid to all owners at their official address as kept in the association records. An affirmative vote of 2/3 of the owners who are present at this meeting, in person or by proxy, is required to approve any proposed amendment. If the amendment is approved, the Board of Governors shall execute and file the amendment with the Recorder of Deeds of St. Louis County. Any questions regarding that? Any comments from anyone? Jackie, anything to add to that?
I would just highlight that the important part of C, right now we need 2/3 of the entire neighborhood's vote to pass any new indenture or revision. This allows for 2/3 of the owners that are present at a meeting. So that's going to make it much simpler to go ahead and revise any indenture that's proposed.
Moving forward, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
2/3 of the neighborhood doesn't even show up in an entire year combined. So we would never get a vote.
We're at 714.
We're at 714 actually. Yeah.
So we would need like 500 or
We
something.
need-
Yes votes just to pass.
Right.
So I was gonna ask you, so that's people who are present.
So 50 people show up, you'd have to get
Right.
37 votes or whatever. it is.
Now, the complication with this is that to get to this point, this proposed amendment will need 2/3 of the entire neighborhood.
Right.
So
So
this
we don't
guy
have to do
here
the
is the
2/3,
important
yeah,
thing.
okay.
And then after this passes, all of this easier stuff goes into effect. And so I
what
guess
happens if you don't get 2/3 of the people?
Then we just,
back to the drawing board.
yeah, we just try again or
Yeah.
back to the drawing board. And it's gonna take a lot of work from a lot of people to get attendance up and, maybe mail-in votes.
Right.
However we may kind of move forward with getting everybody involved.
And actually to lead into topic number 2,
Right.
that's going to help with this project.
So I'll move on to agenda item number 2. The board has made it a priority to promote the involvement of residents of Town South subdivision in their community. The board is proposing 15 zones within the subdivision, for which they're asking one resident of each zone to come forward as a zone representative or a zone captain to act as a liaison for the residents within their zone. This will help promote an easier flow of communication through the entire neighborhood, ensuring all neighbors. Hi there. Well, you can fit your one.
Need another one of these ones, Dave?
There's some over here. So
Yeah. Have a couple in case somebody else comes in.
you should start sharing.
Right. 2015, so we're not there yet. Okay.
I'll go ahead and keep going.
Yep.
I'll kind of repeat some of that. So what I was saying is the board is proposing 15 zones in the subdivision. We're asking one resident from each zone to come forward as a zone representative or a zone captain, someone that can act as a liaison for the residents within your zone, kind of have communication flow, kind of get them involved and let them know what's going on. It'll promote an easier flow of communication through the entire neighborhood, ensuring all neighbors are aware of the news and plans and the progress. And the association works on reaching residents for the amendment community events. This will be helpful. So, something kind of we're thinking about, maybe, trying to help the communication so we can keep each section, each all have a map of the proposed zones. Try to keep them as equal as possible. There might be some smaller. So that's something we're kind of just trying to move forward with. Hope to get communication out there and someone's volunteer to be a representative for their zone. Are we putting this information out into a newsletter?
I'm preparing
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that will go out with the dues that'll be going out soon.
So we
We're
can
gonna
pack it all
try to
together.
try to put as much information into hopefully a 1-page, maybe 2-sided newsletter, what we've done, what's happened,
Right.
what our goals are, some of the stuff that's stated here
Great.
that we want to let everybody know.
Yeah.
About, especially reaching out to get these zones established. The sooner that happens, the
And our
sooner
website too, it'll be on there.
Yeah.
it will.
And I
Right.
think with them getting it with their.
With their
Their
letter.
dues letter, that's something I'll
Absolutely.
more pay attention to.
Yeah.
Sit there and read it.
Well, they'll see what their dues is doing, rather than just getting this letter that says you owe us $57.50.
Right.
But here's what we're doing, here's
Time
what's
driving.
going on, come join us.
Yeah, so I would say if you know anybody in any other zone that yours isn't polygoned around, reach out to them and let them know that we had this discussion tonight. And more spreading the word, the better, because there's 15 zones and, as you all know, 4 people came forward to be on the board. So the more volunteers, the better. And it's very hard to get this.
You can volunteer tonight if you like.
Yeah.
Take a
Don't be
zone.
shy.
Take your zone.
Okay, well, why don't you do the zone you're in?
Whatever zone you're in.
Yes.
Well, I'm the same as Jackson.
Well, I'm not gonna take a zone. I'm,
You doing that?
yeah. Or
Yeah,
if
that's
there's
my
a
zone
zone
too,
that's
so.
lacking, I'll work in that zone. So,
You are kind of crippled there, so.
Yeah, I'm not doing any door to door.
We're gonna call him Limber.
Okay, I'm sending Ginger and I up for our zone.
okay, great. Thank you, Nancy and Ginger. I will put you down. I know your zone, so you're zone 2.
Zone 3.
Ginger's like, thank you.
Ginger, you needed to wash your hair
All
before
we
you
have to
came
do
tonight,
is
so
know
you
what
don't do
number the
this.
zone is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have them labeled on the sheets, but.
Well,
we
yeah,
can-
the virtual copy is
We
labeled, but
can get that information out. We also have it on a sheet here, so if you want to.
well, here, I can tell you what zone you are probably.
We're right here.
Here.
We're.
Yeah, okay. You guys are zone,
Oh, we don't have the numbers.
yeah, whoops. 7, I believe. Glenn.
I don't want to be so.
Glenn will be zone
Could be
captain.
zones.
What is it called, zone captain?
Yeah,
That works.
Zone cap.
Or if you can come up with.
yeah,
a
you're
better
definitely
name.
zone 7.
Zone
You guys are, yeah.
Yeah, zone, like a block captain, but a zone captain.
All right, zone captains,
Sorry.
zone 7 captain over here.
I volunteer Glenn.
Nice job. All right, we got a zone 2 and a
I think
zone
it's
cap
called voluntold.
7, yeah, right.
Voluntold, yes, I
Voluntold, yeah, I
voluntold
think that's the problem.
The zone 2 and zone 7 are taken care
I knew I shouldn't have brought her.
of. Those wives are good for
You
something,
can say
right?
that quietly. Fine. Anybody have any questions or comments on that?
I gotta know what zone I'm in.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you guys are,
Towards the end,
yeah. you
I
might
think
be
we're
14.
14.
14, you might be 14, or you might be
It's a
cut off.
salmon color.
That might be 15.
There's all kinds of colors in there.
And I was running out of colors, to be honest.
I know.
Hugh and Marianne, you guys are in zone 15.
15, okay.
What's the one in red?
Zone, I guess the other Warringford would be zone 14 if I did this in any reasonable merit. It's 13, that's zone 13. The one north of you is 13.
Okay, we'll start with 15 and we'll pick up anything else that we can.
Okay, so you guys are zone 15?
Yeah, we'll do our
Okay,
own.
great.
Our thing.
I want to
Yeah.
talk
Okay.
to somebody in 13 too.
You know somebody in 13 you can
Yes,
talk
I
to?
do.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Already got a few.
I got a couple of people down at 13.
Okay, I'm gonna leave 13 as a question mark and you can report back.
Okay.
Yellow, what's yellow?
You're yellow, that's Sefton, Caribbean, Rainford, yes? Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't, because I had to rearrange. Sefton, Caribbean,
But she went in and figured out.
8, you're zone 8.
Yes, sir.
My hearing isn't what it ought to
If
be.
you're volunteering.
We feel your pain.
Yellow?
Yeah, she. just
Yellow
said-
is zone 8, yes, in the middle.
Did she speak up zone 8?
Are you asking to ask, or are you?
You know,
Is she want,
and this
you
is
want
what
zone
we're
8?
doing, and would you like to join us?
Okay, great,
I know most of the people on my street.
wonderful.
That's it. More night.
Basically, Sefton and Caribbean.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Now you know us.
You know us now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Zone 8, okay. What's your name?
Lucille.
Lucille. Okay, thank you, Lucille.
I'm not sure
Perfect.
Which one this is.
You're here? You're in Kemp? Okay. Yeah, would you believe the digital version? I could just open that up on my phone. It has the answer for me, but I want to go
I don't
be
know.
difficult.
I'm there.
Kemp zone
I will put it up.
6. That's, you're with blue, right?
Uh-huh.
Zone 6.
Okay, well, let's make it near.
Are you asking or are you offering? Okay, awesome. Zone 6. And what's your name? Jim? Jim, thank you.
Jim. What
Zone
about-
6, Jim.
Pink, what's pink?
Pink right over there. Oh, that's these guys over here. They got it. Glenn's got it. Zone 7.
Orange?
Orange up at Hursley.
Yes.
Okay,
What is that
give
one?
me a second.
We'll take it one straight.
Zone
up.
4.
Well, I guess what I was just thinking, I'm willing to take any one of them if you want to see How many you can unload right now?
He says anything works for him.
Anything works?
And you're Chris?
Done.
Don.
Don? Okay,
We'll
Don.
sign you up temporarily for orange,
We're sending you out temporarily for zone 4.
for 4.
Okay.
Set in stone, so if you change your mind.
That's this one here.
All right.
You're in yellow, that orange right directly above you.
Town center.
Ginger and Nancy are
Okay.
zone 2.
It's called zone 4. On this.
You might need to go camp out in zone 4 for a while.
Why?
I don't know. Well, to get to know some folks.
I know one person on there. I know a couple people, actually.
Yeah, give them a call. Let them know what's going on.
I've never been that frustrated.
Hey, Jackie.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a list of homeowners?
I have a list of homeowners in each zone, so
Yeah,
I'll
we have,
email you the list.
Whole packet here.
Yeah.
Like each homeowner's name, right, on in each
So
zone.
whoever takes the
And phone
zone.
numbers.
And phone numbers, address.
Phone
Yeah,
number.
and as long as I have your email and the sign-in sheet, I'll be able to email you your zone and who lives in your zone and what addresses they have.
This probably doesn't phone numbers, but we got
We have not all phone
Well,
numbers,
we
but we
have
have,
phone numbers
for most of them.
that we don't know how old they are
Yeah.
because a lot of people have gotten rid of landlines. and
Right.
So
Sure.
it's,
you get
I'd
what I
say
have.
it
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Never
it's-
changing that.
Yeah, right. It's under
Are we gonna
constant.
try to collect emails when you send out the,
We would love to get emails because in the future, if we can identify with an amendment that we don't have to use the US mail and cost us thousands of
Mhm.
dollars.
that's what I'm thinking if,
We-
we send out this amendment or then, and also the, yearly fee.
We cannot do that yet.
Oh, you can't ask for it?
Part of well, we can ask for it, but
We can ask
until
email.
until we are able to revise the indentures, we have to continue sending it by mail.
But we might as well start collecting.
Oh, yes, for
Oh,
sure.
anything you can
Anytime
collect,
people
yeah.
come into these meetings, I'm asking for email address. I mean, I slowly make communication with people as they email the HOA, but it's a slow go.
Yeah.
So,
As we build
yeah.
that list and as we,
Yeah.
and as
Which
we
is, yeah,
amend
which is
them.
what these zones are.
Right.
Gonna be really helpful about if you can go through each zone and talk to what, 20
right.
or so homes and.
You'll be lucky if it's 20.
Yeah.
50 or 60.
Yeah.
I guess it is more.
Split
But then-
15 divided by, 715 divided by 15 left us with about, give or take, 50. Some have more, some have less, just depending on how, like how it's laid out, what made sense. So
It's a nice walk.
it sure
Yeah.
is.
So we'll get a list of their name and whatever number or email they have
Mhm.
that we know of.
Yeah.
Right,
They
right.
might be,
Subject to change without notice.
Right.
You have their address at least, so if you can't get a hold of them.
Not-
Is
Knock on
our
their
goal
door.
to get
Hey,
them to fill this out?
Well, that is probably something for the future. So, right now, establish your zones, get to know your neighbors, let them know what's up, what's going on, what we're working hard on. And then, the ultimate goal is to be able to get this passed. But right now, we just don't have
That
enough
still has
boots
to
on
be
the
US
ground.
mail.
And this
Yeah,
actually, when we get to the point of when we think we're ready to propose this to the entire neighborhood, there's probably going to be a gigantic canvassing effort.
So that we can get them back.
Yeah, and you can have them sign this at the door when you canvass and return it to us, but we're not.
The one other
There
thing I
you
would like to propose for all zone captains is that we make you some kind of a business card or a badge that identifies you, because nowadays you don't want to just go knocking on somebody's door and say, hey, I'm with the homeowners association. Go, yeah, whatever. I mean,
Right.
we
Can
need.
I have a t-shirt? instead?
Yeah, a t-shirt's a great idea. Hey, you want to donate to the cause? We might need some cash for that. Or we can get a white t-shirt, spray paint. That'll-
You only need one
No,
Take turns?
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, that's okay. Yeah.
We get zone 13 on the front and zone 12 on the back, and you just turn it around. Inside out, we get 4 and 1. Yeah, we're being very
We'll look at
frugal.
Yeah.
Tattoos for.
Yeah,
There you go. Temporary.
now,
you didn't know when you were volunteering that you had to get tatted up.
All right, cool. So agenda item number 3, just a short, quick one here.
Yes, it is.
The board is committed to the subdivision to lower the expenditures and increase the revenue in an effort to secure the future of Town South for this generation in the future. So we've done some things to help decrease costs. We're still trying to do things to help decrease costs. If we want to get into specifics of that, or
Any questions?
but
Yeah.
if anybody has any questions on ideas or concerns, we're doing our best to try and help bring the costs down. I know the grass cutting and the tree trimming, that is the biggest cost. So we're looking at options of maybe different grass cutting company, maybe less cuts per year. I know they're cutting 4 times a month in September and October, and that's probably not necessary. So
I
we're gonna
called them
charge
off.
for everything.
I called them
Yeah,
off
so yeah,
until,
she's
I
already
called them
said,
off,
hey,
stop.
dial it back a little.
Every week in October is not appropriate.
Yeah. 'cause the
I've called them
grass
off
is-
until mid-November when they can cut and then hopefully mulch up leaves by then.
So,
And I would
we're
add,
gonna-
if you know
yeah,
anybody,
change
if you have a company, like, let us know. So we can get a bid.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
we're
can take
willing to
them
call
around.
anybody and get any bids. If you know anybody that's maybe, I don't know, my only thought was
Could
on
tree
the,
trimming also,
Yeah.
Because those, I mean, just to take down a limb or a tree.
Yeah, so if you want to have, you might have separated out. If somebody wants trees, somebody wants.
right,
grass,
for
you
sure,
can separate
yeah.
it.
Or even separate the grass out. We have some really large flat areas that are easy enough to mow if you have a riding mower. So maybe we, like we said, dial it back to the lawn care company where they only do the difficult areas, and we have a resident
Hills.
volunteer their time
Hills and big
for,
areas.
for the flat zone. So,
We're
this
looking
is
at
what we're
options, yeah.
discussing.
I don't know if you know John Mahoo on our street.
Yeah.
He just got a new job with a landscaping company. So that's an option too.
We need to reach out to him for sure. We should-
So yeah, we're doing our best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Agenda number 4. There's a response to a lot owner regarding board member. There's a concern that one of the new board members is not a lot owner. The entire neighborhood was notified about open board positions. Fortunately, only 4 positions were open and only 4 people responded. So those 4 people were filled in their positions.
Yeah.
By proxy. So segue into that, according to the indentures of Article 2, page 5, which these are the indentures from 1996, no person may serve as a member of the Board of Governors unless they are a resident of one of the lots in Town South subdivision, and unless all annual, general, or special assessments levied against their lot or lots are paid in full currently. So the wording there is resident specifically. It doesn't specifically say you have to be a lot owner.
That's me.
That-
I've been here 52 years.
I wasn't gonna point fingers, but
Guilty.
Yeah.
Greg is a lot owner, or not a lot owner, he's a resident, his brother is the lot owner.
We just
Oh,
never changed it,
good.
you know,
He's
just.
been here forever, he's already taken steps to maybe help correct that and
Yeah, yeah.
become a lot owner with his brother, so any questions or concerns about him not being a lot owner will be fixed very soon.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody has any further questions or
Did
concerns about
somebody
that.
actually bring that up?
I know,
Yeah.
did somebody
Yes.
know that?
Yes.
Oh,
They
violently,
researched it.
yes,
I'll be darned.
vehemently.
But I would like to say thank you to Greg because you have already
He's done so much.
done
already,
so much. Yeah.
and He's a big help, big hand.
I'll keep going.
We're
glad to have you
just
here.
we're just here for the betterment of the neighborhood. So
That's right. We're all here together trying to make things better for everyone. Come together. So. All right. Number 5, agenda number 5. Okay, yeah. Additionally, there was a concern from a lot owner regarding the attendance of our HOA meetings and who is allowed in the building during our meetings. The current board is in agreement that the open session of our meetings are open to anyone that would like to attend, even if someone does not have title to their home but resides in the subdivision. They have a right to be at the open meetings.
It has to be open to the public. It's a
Right.
public thing and anybody who doesn't even live in the
Right.
subdivision
Right.
can walk in.
Also, if someone rents in the subdivision, they have a right to be at the open meetings.
They just don't have right to vote.
right,
So
they don't have a
again,
lot
so
of
you
owners
just- if
vote.
you're-
Right.
you're just- I mean, if you've rented in the subdivision for 5 years, obviously, things that happen in the subdivision are, you're part of
Important
that.
to you, yeah.
You may not get a vote in any of that. And, you may not even pay the dues, but you'd still like to know what's going on and hear and things happening in our subdivision. So I think it's important that we allow anybody that wants to come, and it's open, we have nothing to hide, nothing to, we're open. So.
Yep.
Just to further that, it says Article 2, page 6 is interpreted by the current board that the open meeting shall be open to all lot owners, but not exclusive to lot owners. No one can exclude a lot owner from attending for any reason. However, this does not limit others to attend open meetings as well. It just gives lot owners all rights to be present. For example, the Board of Governors may, if they deem it necessary, convene meetings that are only open to lot owners or limited to lot owners for like voting situations or. So. Question.
They can still come to the meetings, they just can't vote.
Right. If you're not a lot owner.
Right.
Yeah.
I won't go into reading
Right.
the whole article, page 6
Right.
thing.
I don't
And
think
at any
it's
meeting where
necessary.
there is a vote that needs to be taken, we'll have to use the attendance
Right.
list and make sure that they are a lot owner in good standing.
And I make sure they're not deceased.
That
Right.
that is helpful as well.
Or registered at 4 different,
Exactly.
well, I guess if you are registered at 4 different lots.
There are several,
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
get 4 votes.
I guess. Would you- if you
Because for
own, like,
each
the whole
lot-
house in the
Right,
subdivision,
each
it's
lot
lots of
gets a
votes, right?
vote. So if you own 6 houses in the subdivision, you get 6 votes.
Maybe I'll start saving some
Does
money
it say
for
that or
it.
does it say one
There's a
per
couple of
lot
people.
owner?
And per lot owner, and a lot is this plat here,
Yeah.
it may not, and not be this
Right.
plat here, so it's considered a
Yeah.
lot owner, a lot owner, a lot
Yeah.
owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Makes
that's the,
sense.
yeah.
No, I get it.
yeah,
And remind me, what percentage is like 715 homes?
there's
correct?
2/3.
60.
Yeah, there's
But,
715.
I mean, remind me how many are rented?
Oh, I think like
Oh.
40-ish, 44.
40 are renters? Or-
Yeah. And some of those 44 have double lots that they're renting.
Oh,
So we might
I mean, I
have
know
like,
there's 2 near us that the
Are
same
rentals.
guy owns the house.
Yes,
right.
Right.
So which could very good care of.
I guess I don't know if that would prove difficult getting votes from those lot owners if they're not around.
it would probably prove very difficult getting
Especially if
votes
they
because
own
they're
more
not
than
gonna,
one, so-
they may not care because they're not vested in the neighborhood.
Right.
So you're just
And do we
kind of
have,
losing.
I assume we have separate addresses for
Yes.
people that
Yes,
live there, right?
yes.
Well, at least we can contact them.
Well, we have a mailing address for the lot owner, which is not the lot address.
So we don't have a name for the renters, right?
No, we don't. We have the address though, so we could just say, resident of.
Well, and our zone captains can
Yeah,
do
just
some of
figure that
that
out.
information too.
Will you, so do you know which,
I do know which.
so you'll let us know which
Yep.
ones are, so we don't have.
Hey,
to-
this is
Yep.
the owner, but they don't live there.
Right. And it would be important to still talk to them because if they know the owner, then they may communicate with them. And also, I would like to mention real quick too, being zone captains, we're planning to try to get in the involvement of the community as much as possible, which might include like get-togethers,
Something fun, yeah.
something fun.
Fun, like
And
a
we want to make
barbecue or
sure that
like
the
a-
entire community knows. Yeah. So,
We have a good use of this church and that whole,
Right.
area right outside here, the common ground, so there
Right.
could be a time when, I don't know, get some food trucks or something,
Right.
just kind of hang out.
It won't all be business, it'll be fun.
right. And we
I don't
want
know
to
that I've ever
cultivate those
seen anything.
relationships for the future. So that'll be great.
The last agenda item that we have was regarding a recommendation from lot owner to have a St. Louis County police officer come to a board meeting. The only meeting the board might ask them to attend would be maybe the annual meeting.
These police officers have more to do than
Yeah, I
talk to the
don't know that
12 of
they're-
us tonight. So,
We might suggest if there's a police officer in the subdivision, hey,
Yeah.
get your thoughts on
Or if something
the annual
really
meeting or
important
something.
comes up that they want us to know about, then they're welcome, but
So,
to
yeah,
tap them every month, to be here is.
right, or even.
Well, they drive through on Halloween,
yeah.
hand out stuff, so.
Right.
It's good. So yeah, the Board of Governors will consider this along with any other recommendations for speakers at the annual meeting set for February.
To be completely honest, I have not attended an annual meeting before. And I don't know who all has, but historically, is there a speaker? Do we
Yeah,
find
there's usually
somebody
a
in the
speaker,
community?
It's usually a police officer.
Okay,
You know, but it's the same every year. Talk about safety, keep your lights on,
Right.
keep your doors locked, keep your car
All
locked.
right, so Greg, you just did it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
so,
the
so
abbreviated
anybody have
version?
any ideas for somebody to come at the annual meeting in February to speak to the neighborhood that might be different? We'd love to have your suggestions as well.
So I talked to the lady from the stream team,
Oh, yeah.
and she said she could come to a meeting, you know, or an annual meeting. It's
Okay.
just a team that gets volunteers to clean our creeks and our areas up that need to be addressed. It's great.
Do you get a lot of people at the annual meeting?
I have never attended an
Usually
annual
like
meeting.
30, 35.
Oh, so
I've heard, yeah, I've
Almost
heard that this
triple
room
this.
could get full, because, yeah, they were saying during COVID, this would have been a little tight. So apparently,
But then
Probably do good.
there's been meetings that we've had 10 people here.
yeah.
It just really depends on what's going on
In the weather.
in the weather.
In February.
Yeah, we can't have it on Super Bowl
Right.
Sunday.
Encourage your neighbors to show up in February or any month thereafter.
But we had one on a Sunday, a Super Bowl Sunday, and nobody showed up.
Oh, that's not a good
Why
idea.
is not? I could see that one.
Maybe that was their.
And do we know a date yet in
Might have been.
February? that we-
Well, I think it's the third
Third.
is it Tuesdays usually? I suspect that's the third Tuesday
No,
in
it's a
February.
Saturday.
No, it's a Saturday.
It's a
Saturday?
Saturday in.
Okay, then I guess we don't have it yet set. So we should probably do that.
So the
Saturday
third.
or Sunday, I would think.
It's usually Saturday.
Yeah,
Once in a while, we're on
Sunday,
Sunday.
Sunday would be better. Usually cramped with planes on Sundays.
yeah, Sunday at like 2:00 or something, maybe. Yeah. We'll have to get that on the calendar.
Yeah.
Put that down.
Not.
Not Super Bowl, right?
Donut Sunday works at church.
If you feed them, they
Yeah.
will come.
Right,
Donuts are always a good idea.
right. Well, we should probably consider that. Anybody bake?
I don't-
My what?
We can do
Yeah.
stuff, yeah, if you feed them, they will come.
Right, I think maybe we should announce that in the
In the
in the
newsletter.
letter. Yeah, that we're gonna have a little mini potluck for the annual meeting. Bring something, desserts.
Bring
Feel
a-
free to bring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring a snack or a dessert.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Well, that's all the agenda items we had. And we can open up for discussion. If anybody have questions or comments, any concerns they want to bring up. Listen.
I have a question
Yes, sir.
regarding common ground,
Yeah.
like I know on town center.
Mhm.
Somebody, I assume the grass cutters have piled dead limbs up
Yeah.
under some of the trees. Is there any method of is there plans for somebody to take those?
Yeah,
Like
we're gonna
Greg.
try to do it. I'm gonna try to do it myself or get some, if I get some volunteers. I got a truck and a trailer. I get some volunteers to go along and, because evidently they're doing it on all the commons, you know? And I don't know why they started leaving them there, you know, like the last year, they started leaving them there.
They didn't used to.
No, they never did. So I don't know why they started piling them up in the trees, but
Have we asked them about that?
it's expensive to have somebody come out and do it.
I
Oh,
did
yeah.
not ask.
They were
specifically.
paying,
Maybe an
we were
extra
paying
charge.
with the former board like $200 a pile.
That might be why they're
That's crazy.
piling them up now.
Well, and other homeowners are finding out they don't want to have to get the yard pickup,
Right.
so that they'll just, midnight drop off at some other
Add
time.
to
At the
pile,
corner
add to
of-
pile, yeah, that's
yeah.
probably a
Mhm.
good idea.
So I mean, you can get volunteers.
Wait now, zone
you know,
captain, don't be a bad influence.
I don't know. You should figure out where, you gotta figure out where.
We might have a bonfire.
Here you go.
There's our next get together.
There's our-
the
There's
church
our
parking lot
social.
To burn all of our limbs.
Bring marshmallows.
My yard guy, used to take it to Arnold. There's like some kind of a,
I
Yeah,
think they can mulch it. Yeah, they'll take it to the
yeah,
park a lot of times.
it was, he took like my deck material too.
Oh, wow.
Is it free?
I don't think it's free, but I think it's pretty inexpensive.
I mean, we could take it up to Page and Shoots up there for free. I mean,
That's
I
a
mean, I'll
long
do
way to
that,
go.
It's a drive.
you know,
Mhm. That's quite a ways.
I mean,
Arnold's next.
Oh,
time.
right, but it's free up there, you know. Like St. Louis composting. They allow you to bring one a month,
oh, nice.
so, but it can only be twigs and up to 3-inch branches.
I have a question about the zone captains. So is there gonna be like a sheet?
Are you a zone captain?
I'm not-
Should you even-
I'm not, but-
Should you even ask? a
She's just
question?
worried
there-
for the success.
No
of you.
husbands and wives. Like, is there like
It's gotta
a,
get deeper on you.
when you go to the homes, is there like a blanket thing that you're gonna?
Oh, we
like a
can put
sheet
that. That might be a good
Yeah,
idea.
we
to put
talked
in there,
about
yeah.
talking points.
Something
Wait,
to
yeah.
I
prepare.
talked
Yeah,
about
like-
creating talking points for the zone captain, so
Yeah.
that everybody's working off of the same
Right.
sheet of
Yeah.
information.
We'll put that
so that
together.
It's important that everybody hears the same message.
I gotta go.
Right.
We don't.
You don't want a bunch of us telling you.
Well, I was just kind of thinking, yeah, if you got 15 people asking 15 different, you're not
My
gonna
own point.
I mean, we can get a package together probably or something.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, just
Information stuff
simplest,
around.
the simpler the better, because then you're not standing there going, oh, let me tell you about page 4.
Well, and if somebody wants to give you their like phone number and email address, we want a fluid way for you to get that back to us too. So, yeah. We'll get that
Yeah, I
together.
think that's the big goal is getting contact information, making sure we have.
It's kinda like-
accurate.
Maybe taking, and walking around with sign up,
Yeah, pretty much, maybe
similar.
similar, yeah.
And then you check off who you've seen, and if they slam the door in your face, let us know.
Yeah, right. Let's
Yeah, you
mark
can
them
do a
too.
little check on them.
Little
Good,
red- the
bad.
X on.
Then we have all the captains. with
Don't
that.
go to this house.
Just a frowning face.
It's like a
I
Halloween.
guarantee you, it's personal comments.
All good, right? About how wonderful the board is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm just talking about the individual president.
Oh, you're
You're gonna
grading
add some,
them.
you're gonna add some commentary of your own.
It's always good to know.
There you go.
To take a step back, it's Hanson's Green Waste Drop Off in Arnold.
What is it called?
Hanson's Green Waste Drop Off. In Simpson Quarry. I can give you their phone number or address.
Sure.
Go ahead out with the phone number. I'm jotting it down.
Well, their address is 1776 CACOS, Sacros, I assume, Lane, Arnold, Missouri 63010. Their phone number is 636-287-1130.
Okay.
Then there once, they do charge per bundle. They want, it can be tied bundles, doesn't have to be in bags. I can't remember what they charge. It was over a year ago.
Okay, we'll give them a call.
I'll call and see.
Okay,
Well, if you have twig day, I'll come help load.
Twig Day, like National
Twig Day.
Neighborhood Day, Twig Day.
Sounds better than limp day.
Right.
to be misconstrued.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of piles out there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some that are close, that are on people's properties too. I assume
Yeah.
that you're just leaving them there for themselves.
Yeah, we had a,
Yeah.
There's one going up.
And I thought the previous board had been piling up on that, but perhaps I was wrong. I got the impression they had been, but
Because there's one up on Town South.
Town
right,
South, almost Sherborne, yeah.
Against that tree.
yeah, I looked at it.
I assume-
it's definitely coming from the homeowner's tree.
Yeah, I assume that's what it is. Yeah.
We just don't want them to move it.
Right. Don't move
Yeah.
it on the
Push it,
Right there,
push it
that's
onto
yours.
common ground.
Right.
They've got a ways to go if they're looking for common ground, so we might.
But we'll address that.
Yeah.
Soon here.
Anything else?
I have nothing.
No? Anybody else? No? Okay, well, let's adjourn the open session and then the executive board can meet about a couple of things. Okay,
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
thanks, Anna.
Thanks for all the
Let me know if you want
volunteers.
any of the documents that were passed out. Thank you.
There.